January 7th today, the Catholic Church honors one of her most brilliant minds and humblest servants, Saint Raymond of Peñafort, a Dominican friar who shaped the canon law of the Church. A man of intellect and action, of penance and miracles. This is not just the story of a legal scholar. It is the story of a man who literally sailed the sea on his cloak, and gave the Church tools to defend the faith and save souls. Welcome to Based Catholics. Let us dive deep into the life, legacy, theology, and miracles of Saint Raymond of Peñafort. Chapter 1: A Saint in a Troubled World. To understand Raymond, we must first understand his time. He was born around 1175 in Catalonia, in the Crown of Aragon, a region shaped by war, religion, and scholarship. Spain was still marked by the Reconquista, the centuries-long effort to reclaim Christian lands from Muslim control. This created not only military tensions but intense interreligious debates. Jews, Muslims, and Christians lived side by side, often in conflict, sometimes in dialogue. Into this world stepped Raymond. His family was noble, likely tied to the Counts of Barcelona. He was educated early and showed a sharp mind and deep virtue. He studied philosophy and theology in Barcelona, but he was especially drawn to law, both civil and ecclesiastical. So, in his 20s, he went to the University of Bologna, the greatest legal school in Europe. There he studied Roman law and canon law, and he soon became a professor admired for both learning and holiness. Chapter 2: Rome, Law, and the Church. Raymond was not a dry academic. He believed that law should serve the Church's mission. It should help priests guide souls. It should protect the sacraments. It should guard against corruption and heresy. He wrote some of the earliest legal commentaries on church law. He explained difficult cases. He harmonized conflicting laws. He showed how theology and morality informed discipline. His reputation grew across Christendom. Eventually, Pope Gregory IX summoned him to Rome. The Church's legal system was in disarray. Previous collections of canon law were incomplete, contradictory, or outdated. So the Pope gave Raymond an immense task: organize and codify centuries of church legislation. Chapter 3: The Decretals of Gregory IX. In 1230, Raymond began compiling 5 books of canon law. He included decrees of popes, councils, and theologians. He removed contradictions. He grouped similar cases together. He made it easier for judges and priests to find clear answers. This work became known as the Decretals of Gregory IX, or the Liber Extra. It remained the official canon law of the Church until the 20th century. It guided priests, bishops, theologians, and even popes. It was not just a legal document, it was a pastoral tool. Raymond believed that confessors must understand both the soul and the law. He emphasized mercy without neglecting justice. He warned against both legalism and laxity. He taught that confession should not be rushed nor mechanical, but deep, honest, and spiritually healing. Chapter 4: Joining the Dominicans. Around the age of 47, Raymond made a life-altering decision. He left behind his professorship and prestige, and entered the recently founded order of preachers, the Dominicans. This was no ordinary career shift. He embraced poverty, obedience, and simplicity. He slept little, ate less, and prayed constantly. He wore a rough white habit. He walked long distances on foot. He begged for food, even though he had once dined with kings. The Dominicans were founded by Saint Dominic to preach the truth, especially against heresies like Albigensianism. Raymond found in him a perfect home, a place where his mind and soul could serve the Church as one. Chapter 5: The Summa for Confessors. After compiling canon law for the Pope, Raymond returned to spiritual needs. He noticed that many priests were poorly trained in hearing confessions. Some were overly harsh. Others gave automatic absolution without true contrition. Many didn't know what questions to ask. So Raymond wrote one of his most famous works, Summa de Causibus Poenitentiae, a handbook for confessors that examined sins, moral theology, and pastoral guidance. He covered issues ranging from abortion to war, lying to usury. He explained how to distinguish between venial and mortal sin. He addressed rare cases, such as self-defense, coercion, or ignorance. He reminded confessors to act with charity, not pride. And he told them never to reveal what was confessed, a reminder of the sacred seal of the confessional. This work helped the church train better confessors for centuries. Even today, his teachings remain relevant. Chapter 6 Zeal for Conversion. Raymond was not content to stay in libraries or confessionals. He wanted to reach those outside the church. He was deeply concerned for the salvation of Muslims and Jews, especially in Spain, where they often lived under Christian rule. But he rejected forced conversion. He believed that faith must be chosen freely. So he promoted apologetics, rational, respectful dialogue. He helped establish schools to teach Arabic and Hebrew to missionaries. He translated important theological works into languages others could understand. He supported public debates, trusting that truth would prevail. He co-founded the Order of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Mercy, the Mercedarians, with Saint Peter Nolasco. Their mission? To ransom Christians enslaved by Muslims. They vowed to offer themselves as hostages if needed to save others. Raymond supported them with legal advice, prayer, and funding. Chapter 7 Miracle of the Cloak. Raymond was once the confessor of King James I of Aragon. But the king lived in scandal. He kept a mistress and refused to marry properly. Raymond begged him to repent. The king ignored him. Raymond resigned as confessor and tried to leave the island. But the king ordered every ship grounded, forbidding any vessel from taking Raymond. So Raymond went to the shore. He took his Dominican cloak, spread it over the water, made the sign of the cross with his staff, and calmly sailed across the sea, over 160 miles, back to Barcelona. Witnesses confirmed the miracle. Even the king repented in awe. To this day, Raymond is often shown standing on the sea, his black and white Dominican cloak billowing like a sail. Chapter 8 Master of the Order. In 1238, the Dominicans elected Raymond as Master General of the entire order. He accepted the role, but reluctantly. He served for only 2 years, then resigned. He believed others could lead better. He preferred prayer, teaching, and preaching. Even as an old man, he kept writing. He helped draft Dominican constitutions. He encouraged missions to North Africa and the Middle East. He advised popes even into his 90s. He fasted regularly and prayed deep into the night. He confessed daily and celebrated Mass with profound reverence. Chapter 9 Death and Legacy. Saint Raymond died on January 6, 1275, at over 100 years old. His death was marked by peace and prayer. People venerated him almost immediately. Miracles were reported at his tomb. He was canonized by Pope Clement VIII in 1601. His feast was originally January 23, but moved to January 7 to make room for the feast of the Espousal of Mary. He is now the patron saint of canon lawyers, of confessors, and of those seeking clarity in church law. His legacy endures in seminaries, law faculties, and Dominican houses. Chapter 10 What we can learn today. In a time of confusion, Saint Raymond brought clarity. In an age of corruption, he brought holiness. In the face of power, he showed humility. He reminds us that the church needs both minds and hearts, both sound doctrine and deep charity. He shows that the spiritual and the legal can serve one another. He teaches that even scholars must pray, that even mystics must act, and that the truth must always be shared, boldly, clearly, and with love. Are we using our gifts to serve the church? Do we speak the truth with courage, like Raymond? Do we study the faith seriously? Do we confess sincerely and regularly? Let the example of Saint Raymond guide us. Let his writings shape our understanding of confession, justice, and mercy. Let his miracles strengthen our trust in God's power. And let his Dominican heart remind us that true knowledge must always serve love. This was Saint Raymond of Peñafort, celebrated every year on January 7th. Doctor of Law, priest of penance, and a man who rode the sea by faith alone. Subscribe to Based Catholics for more saints, every single day.